Okay, I'm joined here by two very special individuals who have done something very special in the world of chess. Shrikar on my right and Manu on my left. Hello, guys. Uh,
Hi,
Generally,
Sagar.
when I talk to you, we both are very calm and cool. Uh, is there a feeling of excitement today after what has just transpired with Arjun Erigaisi?
Hi, Sagar, firstly. And yes, I think there's a lot of excitement in the whole team. And also, this has been going on for quite some time, as we have told you in the past. Finally seeing it happen definitely made us excited.
Yeah, just to let everyone know that yesterday something was announced where Arjun has signed a 5-year sponsorship deal with QuantBox, and on the picture you can see the CEO of QuantBox, Prashant Singh. And when I asked my editor to make a thumbnail for this, he came up with something like this. Something like this. But 1.5 million dollars, 5-year deal. These numbers are kind of unheard in the world of chess. So tell us, how did MGD1 and both of you manage to do that? I'm not sure who did what in the two of you. So if you guys can take us through this entire thing which has happened with QuantBox, would be wonderful to know.
Okay, so I'll start from the part till where I played a role, and then I'll give Shrikar this thing to tell you the rest. So it started during the pandemic, like everyone, Sagar. I basically have always been a chess fan and have been following, Gadmeter and everything. But the only thing that hasn't been talked about a lot, or maybe I don't know, was the part that as fans we didn't really know the hardships being faced by, especially Indian chess players. Um, I got in touch with a few players during the online Olympiad and all of that. No, the whole history is there, and then
Yes,
uh,
just to let everyone know that there was this issue with internet disconnection in 2020, and there was this solution found with Speedify, and I think Manu, you played a very important role there.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it was there, and I just helped the team set it up mainly. Yeah, and then I think first it started with Adiban, and then ultimately it moved on to Srinath, and Srinath and me have been talking. I give all of this that has happened a lot of credit. I'll give to Srinath actually, to be honest, because uh, he kind of firstly welcomed me into this ecosystem. As an outsider, chess community is a very close knit community. They like to keep things between themselves and everything. And Srinath kind of did help me understand the whole situation. He told me all the hardships that everybody is going through, all the stories of so many years of knowledge that he has had, and the experience that he has seen. And he kind of got me hooked up to this idea that I have to do something. Whatever I'm doing in my life, I'll stop that and I'll give this a shot. Let's see if something can come out of it. And that's when we started onboarding a few players and everything. But of course, I had my separate other businesses as well to take care of. So, and also, the thing is, not everybody is good at everything. I might be good at probably say something, and then somebody else is good at something else. That is where I was like, maybe we need more professionals from other industry to be entering, more people uh, who have a specific domain that they are into. So that is where I think I got Shrikar hooked on to chess, and thanks to him also to be listening to all my buck for God knows how many months. I made him sit and I told him everything that has been happening, and ultimately he also is a very busy man, but he was also he just bought my idea that I was trying to sell, and so I think from there Shrikar can tell you what happened.
So actually, during the pandemic, there was not much to do. So Manu and I were childhood friends. So I used to just hang at Manu's place, and Manu used to put some stream or something. Uh, and I used to wonder what is happening, what is this 1b3 and things like that. And then he started telling me all the stories, him being a chess fan. He told me all the history and uh, everything, like right from how to castle, is what Manu taught me. And that's how I kind of got hooked onto the stories bit of it, not as much to the chess part of it, but I was very very interested in, hey, how does a chess match, I mean, I didn't know the difference between a game and a match at that point. And I was wondering, okay, what's the difference between that, and how does a tournament take place, and why do they keep hitting the clock and things like that, um, and once I got hooked onto it, that's when Manu was like, there are these issues and these problems and these things where I am currently helping these players out, and it'll be great if you also can come on board, and with your expertise we can be this company that helps chess players out, starting with endorsements and sponsorship um, and such things. And like I've mentioned previously, I come from marketing and entrepreneurship and branding and things like that. So I was like, okay, fine, let me just take that and put that into chess and see how it kind of will function. And this was 1 year ago, pretty much, like 1 year ago, is when we kind of decided, hey, let's do this seriously if we're doing this. We registered a company and we said, hey, let's call it MGD1, and go ahead with that. And we have Srinath, we have Adiban, and of course, we have Arjun. And Arjun is this upcoming talent. And so I had no idea who Arjun and whatever, to be very honest. And I spoke to the guy, and seemed like a very sweet kid. Spoke about being the world champion. Um, and I was like, okay, fine. If we are going to do this, and if this kid really wants to be the world champion, what does it take to be a world champion? Forget the sponsorship, endorsements, that bit for a second. Let's just figure out what all is needed to be a world champion. Of course, again, then Manu and Srinath had to be those people who had to explain to me all the resources that are required, in terms of coaching, the seconds, the technology bit of it, all the travel that is involved. And based on the requirement and the resources that are needed for Arjun, is when we came up with a kind of a ballpark figure. We said, hey, this is quite expensive. I mean, it was quite surprising also at that point, because I mean, who would expect that chess would need these kind of funds to, at the top, I'm saying, maybe at the start. And we're like, okay, fine. If we have to go after this, let's go after this seriously. Let's be as serious as the kid is. And that's when we started, talking to a lot of people, approaching a lot of pretty much cold calling, cold emailing. I mean, I was talking to Manu the other day. I was like, it took 500 emails, speaking to 500 emails, DMs, cold calls, approaching through so many people to eventually kind of be an overnight thing.
Yeah, I mean, what has come out, of course, is just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much of work that has gone into it. But what makes it, there are two parts of it. First of all, you guys getting into chess, putting all your expertise that is from the domain of marketing. And as Manu said, Manu, you had other businesses as well. You put that on a hold and come to chess. Is that some kind of a thing where you feel passionate about chess? Do you see an opportunity in chess? What is it that kind of inspires you guys? Because as Shrikar also said right now, we asked Arjun what his aims are to become the world, like how will he become the world champion, and we want to enable that. That requires serious dedication.
Yeah, so we saw an opportunity. It's not from the part, that, and I say this quite often to different people I speak to, that there was this line that Biswa had once said to me, and both of us actually. Chess doesn't need a savior. We are not here to save chess. We are not. Chess is already a big thing. It's a huge thing. It's not that we are here to do. We are also not here to. We are not saying that we are trying to help people out or whatever. We are not trying to make money out of it. That's not the case out here. I want more people to get involved in chess and make a career out of it. It should be an industry which doesn't have to depend on donations and charity and all of that. It has to be a self-sufficient ecosystem where actual money is being talked about. It's about doing a deal with companies more than coming from a perspective. Hey, can you just give me an X amount and I'll do this and I'll do that. While that also works, but I think it's about time. It is our decade, or maybe I don't know. God knows with the way our juniors are going, maybe even a century. But yeah, but I think it's about time that people start coming forward and they start supporting the sport like they do for other sports. And there is a lot to be gained for those companies as well. It's not going to be a one-way partnership. It is, if you say that we have like five juniors who are on the top right now, so all it takes is about five industrialists to come and support, and which in a country like India is not that big of a deal. It's easily done. I mean, maybe they will need to be chess fans, but still, I feel to find five such people shouldn't be that big of a problem. It's just about them realizing that it's a mutually beneficial partnership. It's not going to be like charity or something, and it has to be put forward to them also in the same way. And so it is an opportunity. It is not about that. We're going after something where we know we'll not make any money or no, that's not the case. We want to make a professional company and build a career out of this.
So when you talk about the companies getting value out of these deals, sponsorship deals, could you tell us a bit more about how that works? Let's say, for example, in this particular case, how does QuantBox see themselves gaining out of this? And also, we see Arjun, of course, gets the financial resources that he wants to become the world champion that he wants to.
Yeah. Now, I saw your video last night. It was really well put together. In that, you had mentioned, what QuantBox does. And if you see the comment section, people are asking what is QuantBox and what is high frequency trading and things like that. And
I also don't. Basically, I read about it. And one of my questions to you guys was going to be, what does it mean in layman's terms? So, yeah.
I think Prashant would be the best person to kind of explain that. Once that happens, you can ask him the question directly.
Sure.
But that's the entire intention, to generate interest in the right audience. So the right audience for someone like QuantBox is an intellectual audience. And there is some kind of convergence between chess and a company like QuantBox, which they proclaim, and which is true, that they hire only the best of the world, the best mathematicians, the top talent from the IITs, to kind of work for them. And Prashant, being a chess fan, was the icing on the cake. That just sped up the process. But yeah. So generating interest in the brand in the minds of the right audience, that is kind of is the entire benefit for someone like QuantBox. I would say that hey, why does Meltwater sponsor CCT? When you see, when you go to Meltwater's website, you realize, oh, they are an AI and analytics firm, and they have a brand image of being intellectual, and that is the direction they kind of take. When you look at other brands also that are getting into it from the fintech side or from even ed side. In fact, in this thing, the Olympiad, the chess Olympiad, I saw smart water
Smart water.
everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, why smart water? Why is smart coming into chess? So it has the right audience, the intellect and the smart, image is what chess holds, and that convergence is what brands are also kind of looking for. It's the right kind of fit, it's the right uh, place to be for such brands.
So say if QuantBox has like say 50 odd employees and all 50 of them happen to be Arjun fans. So it just shows that in those people the following of chess and everything playing chess is quite common out there. So it's just about getting those two people together, and it's mutually beneficial. It's going to be mutually beneficial for sure.
So, like, it would be amazing, that this thing happened now, right now, and it happens for more chess players. Do you see this as something that is one-off thing, or you guys have plans to sort of make this happen for more chess players?
No, our entire intention is to make a business out of it.
So it's not going to happen with one person. It has to happen with more people. And also in larger scheme of things, I think somebody has to do it. I give an open call to others also. If they want to start doing it, just do it. If you have the expertise, try and connect people. Just try and bring brands together, and I'm sure we can take the game anywhere. And I at least hope that top 10 of our juniors, whatever the requirements are. I'm not saying everybody's requirements are going to be like Arjun's, but still, whatever the requirements are, and with age, whatever their requirements increase to, I'm sure the brands will also be happy to do it if they are given the right picture in the right way and explain to them how it is going to be beneficial for them.
Yes, I think that's a very key part, because I think recently we also were together in Mumbai when this happened of the Julius Baer, where Pragnananda came and did a simul with all their, I think there were few employees, but there were also some near friends of the company and so on. I think such initiatives are of great value when, let's say, a young talent comes in, speaks about his journey, gives a simul. It's a wonderful thing for the organization.
Definitely. And
I think that is exactly what we have planned for QuantBox as well. Where Arjun is giving a simul with all the fans in QuantBox, which is pretty much everyone in QuantBox. So yeah, such activities being available also, from the brand's perspective, for the talent to be available and spend a couple of days, spend a simul, play a simul and things like that. It's great for the culture of the company as well. They must be like, hey, this is not one of those offsites where you just go somewhere and party and come back. This is a completely different kind of offsite where our company actually kind of cares of what we actually enjoy. We support Arjun, we like chess, and it's a great thing. We planned it out for the next year, so looking forward to that.
Tremendous. And
we'll definitely call you, Saga, for that. You're going to be there wherever it's happening. You're surely
I would love to do it. In fact, this is something which is, in theory, sounds amazing, because here you have a chess player who can play with numerous people. He can inspire them. I've seen Vishy Anand doing it often in many big companies. He's done simuls. In fact, NIIT as a brand became very visible and to everyone, not just in Indian chess, but all across the world, because you could see Anand playing in world championships wearing NIIT. And I think with Arjun and other young Indian talents being so good, this is what can happen to these companies as well.
Yeah, so this is also coming back to the same point. What is in it for the companies? If you invest at this point, they might get a whole lot in lesser amount of money. But say for one of these juniors becomes a world champion, obviously these deals are going to be much much larger at that time. So if you can come in and support at this stage itself, I think it's going to be good exposure for all those companies who plan on doing it.
Fantastic. For all those who do not understand chess so deeply, for them it seems like $1.5 million for 5 years is quite a big amount. If I don't want to break up or something, but if you had to like say, how is this amount going to be utilized? And I personally know that this is a very reaching the top requires a lot of investment. But where will be the major chunk of money be invested out of this?
I think mainly it's going to be invested on the team of seconds, and the training aspect. I think that is the most. Uh, uh, it's the biggest investment a chess player makes, and especially at Arjun's level, I think a team is what he needs right now. And for that, you need insane amount of money. I do understand people think that this is a lot of money and everything, but trust us, I don't think. I mean, I'm sure that this is going to suffice, but there's no amount of money that we can say that yeah, fine, this is done. Like if you look at the team of Magnus, from last world champion, if you look at the names which were there, all those people, and try figuring out a whole year spending with that kind of a team, and what kind of expenditure goes into that. So I think you can do the maths very easily and reach a conclusion that it's not that cheap an affair where you just have to move pieces on the board. That's what people think about, that you're just moving pieces on the. Why is it expensive? It is. It's very expensive.
I think when you want someone with high expertise in the chess domain, and because there are not so many world class, say, seconds or world class trainers, they are very valuable. If you want them to work full time, they have a very high rate or high fee that they charge.
Also at Arjun's level, the thing is about exclusivity. When you work with a team of seconds, you want those ideas to remain with you. You don't want, so you have to kind of get those people on board full time, and then you have to tell them that you cannot work with anyone else. Mm-hmm. So then you have to compensate them for whatever amount of work they could be doing and potentially they could be earning. So that becomes quite expensive to just get such people on board and build a team out of that.
Tremendous. Okay, that was very good. We got a very fair idea of this entire sponsorship deal between QuantBox and Arjun. A little bit about you guys. What does a normal day look like in your life? Because you guys are, I would say, one of the first just chess sports management, or you can say chess management firms in India.
We get that a lot. Yeah. We have been getting that a lot recently, actually.
So what does it look like a day in your life?
Okay. So I usually goes in management of all the different companies we have. So between Shrikar and me, we both, I think, have 2 companies. Shrikar in total has around 3 firms that he is currently he's a co-founder at. And same is the case with me. I also have around 3 companies. And so a lot of work is just managerial and just trying to figure out, just trying to divide the day, that this time will go into doing this time will go into doing this time will go into doing this. On top of that, I'm also, I'm a consultant for Chess.24 as well. So sometimes there's work for that. So I have to divide my day accordingly. And I think most of our time goes with CAs and lawyers and GST and God knows what kind of taxation and this form and that form, sign here, sign there, banks. And that's most of our day usually. Nothing else.
I'll give you this thing. My best friends are the Excel sheet, PPT and Word. That is pretty much where we spend most of our time.
That feels like a very lonely time to spend. Yeah?
It is.
Yeah,
So this call was also supposed to happen, separately, but there was one form that both of us had to sign, and this guy came over and he was like, "Okay, let's just do the call from here. There is no time for you to go back home."
yeah.
Right. So I believe that in the days to come, what will happen eventually is that with the amount of talents that exist in India, that you will have more and more players to manage. You will have to look out for them, like reach out to more companies for
Yeah.
their sponsorships and so on. And it's going to be wonderful for Indian chess, I guess, in the days to come.
Yeah, that's the hope and that's the plan.
Yeah, I am very excited. And guys, once again, a huge congratulations to both of you for making this happen, and kudos to MGD1.
Sagar, but
Thank
I would like to say out of those 500 emails and all those DMs and everything that we sent, the thing that worked was the Shrikers interview that you did with ChessBase India. That interview caught someone's eye, and that someone connected us to this company, and then things started rolling. So despite everything, I think ChessBase India still is there with its own in whatever way, Sagar, you support. And I think it's wonderful what you do and what you have been doing for all these years. And yeah.
Thank you. I am very grateful for that. And I think just like you guys, my hope is that we will have these wonderful talents reach their true potential. And I think that is what we are all angling for. So let's hope that that happens with Arjun.
Sure. Yes, Sagar.